The Arabic letters and their ancient roots. The term alphabet is made by joining the first two Semitic letters together, Alif and Beyt, originally, and later Alpha and Beta by the time they reached Greece. The other name for the letters were Huruf, a letter being a Harf and means edge. This is due to the fact that the original script of the Semitic letters used to be written on many different materials and thus can be carved in and etched. And so, for example, to write using a knife on a piece of wood, the simplest way would be to have letters be made up of straight lines and angles for the most part. Therefore, their name, Huruf, is due to their form being made up of edges, which was the most user-friendly letter form at the time. The original Arabic written numerals were also made up of edges and used them to hold their intrinsic value within their forms. Now, Semitic letters convey meaning through sound, phonetic. The first letter of the name of a letter provides a sound value that is then used to make words and sentences. For example, Alif gives us the sound A. The sound itself carries shades of meaning as well. For example, a light or heavy sounding letter, when pronounced, changes the meaning of a word. Form, pictographic. The original letters were in picture writing. A pictogram represented something concrete found in the physical natural world, for example, a hand or an eye. Meaning, mnemonic. The meaning of the pictogram in terms of function rather than the appearance of what the letter symbolizes. For example, hands cupped can hold and envelop things. Name. Pictograms are associated with consonants, which make up the name of the letter. The name of the letter, Alif, for example, has the meaning of the pictogram that it represents, but it also has the meaning of the root and parent root word itself. There are two roles these letters can take. One is as building blocks for words, in Arabic called mabani or mabna. This group of letters are called Huruf al-Hija. Huruf al-Hija in English translates to letters of the alphabet, and Hija translates to today's spelling. The second role a letter can have is to provide grammatical meaning. When letters are joined from right to left to form a word, meaning is conveyed using the earlier mentioned ways, creating a word which has layers and shades of meaning. Grammar is also included and used to create meaning. When looking at a letter meaning in a word or sentence, it's vital to also take into consideration grammar and context. An example is that just like the way we communicate emotion through body language, no one gesture or tell is taken in isolation. The gestures are taken in clusters and in context. For example, someone scratching their nose can mean that they may be lying. The more subtle adult version of a child holding their hands in front of their mouth out of fear, in an attempt to hold the lie back or as a realization of it leaving their mouth. However, if what they are saying is congruent with their body language besides the nose scratch, it can simply mean that their nose was itchy. Another example is if someone has their arms crossed while you are speaking to them. It can mean that they are in disagreement with what you have to say and are closing themselves off from you. But if it's freezing cold and you are outside, then it's most likely that they are feeling cold and are trying to keep warm. So keep in mind to look at the meaning from a holistic approach. Look at all the ways a letter may convey meaning, but also take into account meaning conveyed through grammar and context. The most important thing to remember when studying the Quran is that the Quran is its own dictionary in most cases. So first check how a word root and also that specific word itself is used throughout the whole of the text, and work your way from there. If there are any incongruity, then work to try and identify that which is unclear. This does not mean to take every word literally. Take it how it is intended to be taken. Whether a metaphor or not, use your reason. Avoid using external religious sources for identifying word meaning, as it's a way the shaitan alters the meaning of the protected text. The added benefit of knowing how the root letters work is just an added tool in your toolbox in order to decipher true meaning from false, and not the be-all and all.